Looks like she has a final conviction out of Jasper County.
It shows basically that she has been exposed and used alcohol, marijuana, just about every drug you can imagine.
Just lashed out one time because she was angry or mentally ill. She wasn't getting her way. She punched this woman in the face, striking one of our public servants that's out there just trying to help her.
If aren't y'all supposed to be taking care of that? Aren't you supposed to be helping take care of her?
They don't need to.
Since 8 years of age, ma'am, since 8 years of age, she's been a daily drug user. Ma'am, do you think you could stop a daily drug using for 24 years?
This one is rough to watch because it's messy on both sides. You've got a victim who didn't deserve any of this, and a defendant whose life went off the rails way earlier than anybody realized. She's in court for assaulting a nurse, which already tells you how serious this criminal case is. The courtroom vibes are very heavy. The prosecutor is fed up, and the defense is trying everything possible to keep her out of prison. But the part that really hits is when you hear what she's been going through and how long this addiction has been dragging her life around. Make sure you watch till the end because things get tense when a family member decides to speak up at the worst possible moment. Let me know in the comments if you think any of her past excuses what she did, because I'm just curious to hear what you guys think on this one. Let's dive in.
Jenna Ray Horn in cause number 25. DCCR289. That's you?
It's like,
Here with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. As you know, you are charged with the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant, which carries with it up to 10 years in prison. Was the defendant entered the plea already?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not.
She entered a plea, yes.
You've entered a plea of guilty to the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. A pre-sentence report has been prepared, and the parties had an opportunity to review it. Are there any corrections or changes to it? The agreement that you entered into was that whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. So we are looking at no less than 2, nor more than 5 years confinement. Deferred or unadjudicated probation can be assessed. She looks like she has a final conviction out of Jasper County for evading arrest, but she could still get regular probation from the court, but not a jury of slam. Okay, those are your options. Go ahead, Mr. Grove. And
Judge, and this is not a change, it's just something that I noticed on page 2, restitution issues. It says restitution issues, and there are none. I believe there is a restitution issue, but it was not part of the plea bargain and restitution be paid. I'm not objecting to that. I just want to make sure that I'm not waiving anything because I think restitution may be applicable.
I don't object. Joe, when he requested further complaining and yes, I did. Hold on. Amount of loss.
This is not even the right person.
I believe
nothing in my fault, Judge.
I believe, Judge, what happened was a letter was sent out by Mr. Giblin saying that, if you have any restitution, send it in or something like that. I have not seen a number.
There's
no restitution.
No restitution.
However, there is restitution involved in the case. Well, just to get into it, because on page...
You're talking about the pre-sentence report.
The pre-sentence report, yes, sir.
And that's made a part of the records for all purposes.
Yes, sir. And this is not an objection to that, but that there was an analysis made by the complainant who basically, I guess, said that, talked about how much that this case had changed her and that now she could no longer work as a registered nurse because of that. And she was having to pay daily records to pay restitution and medical damages from this. There's not a number that's mentioned in here. The probation officer did not put one in.
Miss Ramirez or Melanie Ramirez was.
that's not showing.
They get it from us, Judge, and if we get a request in from the complaining witness, we send out a letter say, if you have anything, send it to us. And I didn't show anything in my file that says.
No, but you said the pre-sentence report clearly says she's got medical.
Well, she says she did, but they have to send in something for us to be able to give them out, Judge.
Okay. In addition to the physical and emotional impact this assault has had, I have suffered significant financial loss due to medical bills, missed work, co-pays, etc. as I struggle to work overtime to pay medical bills.
I'll double check
And
that.
go to therapy and heal from the trauma. I have one request from the court. I request the defendants be sentenced to state prison. Violence against public servants cannot be tolerated. And this is, thank you, regards the complainant, registered nurse. Well, something happened there because I'm looking at restitution that
Judge, I know it says that, but like I say, I cannot ask for something I do not have a number of.
all right.
I can't just say generally ask for restitution. I'm looking to make sure in the file that there's nothing there.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Let me give you a little bit more background on Miss Horn, and I'm going to try to be brief. Miss Horn has suffered from mental health problems, treatment, and services for many, many years. Starting back on page 4 under the substance abuse history, it shows basically that she has been exposed and used alcohol, marijuana, just about every drug you can imagine during the time that she has been treated. This particular
Voluntary use.
I'm sorry.
Voluntary use of the substance.
I don't dispute that. I'm just not say, but I think it's in there. I just want to make support of it.
And you're not asserting she's incompetent or insane.
No, sir. No, sir. I believe she is competent. I just wanted to make the court aware that she does have the history of this usage, although I don't have each individual time or where it was. Now, on this particular occasion, unfortunately, Miss Horn was arrested and taken to the Baptist Hospital Beaumont Neurological Center, where she was treated. Now, the court is aware that's where people that have mental and intellectual problems quite frequently are treated. Unfortunately, this is where the incident occurred. And again, trying to be brief, it shows that she was in pain, told the nurse, Miss Storm, that she was in a great deal of pain and wanted a shot and hit her. I believe it says 4 or 5 times. There was another Baptist Hospital employee who was present who went in to help the nurse. They eventually took Miss Horn off the lady, but she did suffer the trauma as a result of this violence. I mean, it's also clear that I believe from looking at this record and talking to Miss Horn's family, she has been in, I believe, 8 or 9 different mental health treatment facilities, including the Baptist Hospital Neurological Center. Miss Horn is not saying that this didn't happen. She is not saying she is not guilty. But the fact that it did happen, she feels like she ought to pay restitution to Miss Storm, the victim in this case, as well as the other individual who was not injured to as great a degree as I believe Miss Storm was. And yet this is a situation where she didn't have the money. She cannot maintain employment, doesn't have anywhere else to get the money to pay any of this restitution to Baptist Hospital as well as to the victim. And so I would ask the court to place her on either deferred adjudication or regular probation and order as the primary service that she get employment and pay for this. She also has indicated that she will do anything she can to get help for her problem, whether that includes safety, MIP, anything, if she can just get it, because she's not been able to have any treatment for this problem during her recent history. Not saying this very well, but again, I would ask that the court consider placing her on some type of supervision and not sending her to TDC.
The prosecutor really is not playing today, and I honestly get it. He's tired of the whole "will pay restitution later" strategy, because half the time that money never shows up and everybody knows it. It's just so wild hearing how often people try to buy themselves out of consequences with a promise that sounds good on paper but has no chance in reality. What really sticks out to me is how much the victim, in this case, already lost. I mean, a career, safety, peace of mind. And there's literally no payment that could fix that. I mean, the judge is listening to all of this, and you can just tell he's trying to weigh accountability against sympathy here, which, to be clear, is not an easy job at all. This kind of feels like one of those moments where every sentence in the hearing matters. But yeah, let's see how the judge handles this buildup.
Judge, I really get upset when we start using restitution as a form of making us give somebody probation, and that's just not going to happen in this case. You can see what the complaining witness went through. She did request $5,000 in restitution for lost wages, medical costs, and travel expenses that she had to do during this time. But you've heard that she can't pay that. The defendant cannot pay that. She can't hold a job. She doesn't have the money to do it. But look what she did to this woman. I mean, this is not like she just kicked out or just lashed out one time because she was angry or mentally ill. Wasn't getting her way. She punched this woman in the face. As a direct result of this, the defendant punching me in the face numerous times, causing me to lose complete bladder control, sinus injuries, neck strain, depression, and anxiety. It will take time to heal and to adjust to my new normal in the hospital and a new department. After she has dedicated numerous years to working with mental health patients. She said, I've dedicated the last 30 years of my life to caring for patients with complex medical and mental health issues, and this incident has taken away that vibrant spirit I once had. This totally changed her life and her career because this woman decided she wanted a shot instead of what they were doing for her, and she is not in charge. This victim is asking that this defendant be placed in prison. And I'm asking you to place her in prison because she's had numerous chances over the years. And you can see she's even had a probation for evading arrest where she got it revoked and was sentenced to 800 days in county jail. When is she supposed to have asked for help? When she's facing prison time? I think it's time to get her in a place where she can realize the severity of it and not blame everything on some thing she's been blaming it on for years and not getting any help for. Striking one of our public servants that's out there just trying to help her and hurting her so severely and causing her this much anxiety and this much of a change in life. I think that it deserves more than just a walk out of here.
All right. Ms. Horn, did you want to say anything? This is your time.
And I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hit her or anything. I was going through something in my head.
Listen.
It was a bad time.
Have anything to do with alcohol or drugs?
I'm a user, but it wasn't that. I felt betrayed. I have voices in my head. Like, I felt betrayed by her.
Have you been a drug and alcohol user for any length of time?
I was feeding with drugs at like 7 years old. It's been passed down. I've been using.
It's going to pass down like a gift?
No. It's true. I don't want to do it.
You.
Addicted.
Okay. Well, who caused you to use drugs and alcohol?
My dad was an alcoholic for 28 years.
Ma'am?
My dad was an alcoholic for 28 years.
What about drugs?
Yeah.
Where did you get drugs and alcohol from?
What? Anywhere?
Yeah. The pre-sentence report is made a part of the record here, and this states that for marijuana, you started at 8 years of age and last used March 26th, I guess, when you were arrested, and you have been using it daily. That's what you told the probation office. Alcohol, you started that at 8 years of age, and you used that weekly until 2 months. Cocaine, you began cocaine at 15 and was a daily user of that. Methamphetamine, this one is one that I kind of asterisked. You began meth at 15 and your last usage was just a couple of months ago on a daily basis. What are you, 34 now?
You said?
Yeah, almost 20 years, consistent daily use. Then, of course, there was LSD in use at 18, ecstasy at 18, mushrooms at 18. Synthetic marijuana daily at 22 years of age. How in the world can you not get some kind of have side effects from using controlled substances since you were, for the last 25 years of your life, since you were 8 years of age? you don't think that's going to have adverse consequences? Of course it does. From what you're saying, you may have very well been in an environment where it was a child of 8 years of age isn't at fault if it's from parents who had bad role modeling.
It wasn't me.
How were you getting drugs at 8 years old, sweetheart?
I had a friend that her sisters.
Giving you marijuana and cocaine and methamphetamine. This is marijuana and alcohol at 8, and then cocaine and meth and amphetamines at 15 years of age. This is terrible, of course. That's going to lead you to a catastrophic end, and here we are in court. And it says your drug of choice is methamphetamine. What can I wouldn't want that on my certificate of achievement. No, it's just terrible.
Hearing about her history honestly makes this whole situation even more heartbreaking. Like, at first I was kind of against her, but when somebody starts using that young, I mean their entire life ends up built on trauma and survival instead of normal development. And it really does show in moments like this. It really does put into perspective how addiction rewires a person's mind to the point where they don't even know who they are, without the substances. And at the same time, it's exactly why the judge has to think about the community, too. Because unpredictable behavior can ruin lives just like it did for that nurse there. And I know some of you guys watching have probably seen addiction destroy a person from the inside out. And it is just not pretty. But yeah, this whole situation just feels like a perfect storm that's been building for decades.
It looks like you have a conviction here out of Jasper County, evading arrest or detention. You were placed on probation in 2015. Is that correct? And then that was revoked, and you did 800 days in jail. It's showing that's a conviction. Is that right, David?
Your Honor, I'm not sure, but it appears to be a revocation of probation, which she received.
Which is what they
800 days in jail.
Okay.
No, she got credit for time served because she spent 800 days.
Well, whatever it's time.
It's still a conviction.
It looks like you were on deferred or unadjudicated probation in 2015 for a controlled substance. Then there's something, a prohibited substance in a correctional or civil commitment facility in Jasper, but then there's no disposition known. So we're not going to tamper with that, go down that road. And it looks like we've got 4 misdemeanor convictions, driving while intoxicated in 2014, illegal possession of marijuana in 2015, criminal mischief in 2019, and assault causing bodily injury in 2024. So it looks like you've got 5 convictions, including that evading arrest, and you were on illegal possession of a controlled substance, deferred probation. Lady, the public servant here, the nurse who was injured, states that her request of the court is that the defendant be sentenced to state prison, as violence against public servants cannot be tolerated. This violent and unprovoked brutal assault occurred while she was trying to do her job. You struck her approximately 5 times with a closed right fist to the left side of her face. A Chase Tiller, by the way, was a site technician, that's what they're called, was also assaulted by you as well, as he was trying to pull you away from the registered nurse victim, and he was struck approximately 5 times by a closed right-handed punch to the left of his head. Well, you certainly got everybody's attention, man. I guess you regret doing this. I had to pull that one out of you there. You had it.
Hard to place blame on myself in that state of mind.
But your attorney states there was no issue on mental illness so that you were insane. There is not an issue where you are incompetent. Thus, without that, you are required to conduct yourself like all of us, follow the rules and not commit crimes and hurt people. But once again, someone who has been a daily drug user since 8 years of age, you're going to have some problems. You're going to have some conduct problems. All right. In fact, here's what's interesting is that this occurred on or about January 31st, 2025, but you told the probation officer that you've been a daily methamphetamine user and amphetamine user since you were 15, and the date of last use was March 26th of 2025, which is 2 months after you assaulted this lady. Even an assault like this doesn't stop you from using drugs. In fact, you were indicted on March 5th, and this says your last date of use was March 26th.
March 26th was when she was arrested.
Oh, okay. There you go. The day of your arrest was the last time you used methamphetamine and amphetamine, according to you. Okay. Anything else to add?
No, yeah.
If nothing further, I'm going to find, man, you have pleaded guilty voluntarily. You are mentally competent to do so. You understand and appreciate the consequences of pleading guilty. There's sufficient evidence supporting your guilty plea from State's Exhibit 1 admitted in your guilty plea hearing to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt, and I now find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt of this third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. And following this agreement, you are hereby sentenced to confinement in the Institutional Division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice to serve a term of 5 years. You want to be given credit for all time you have served. Yes, ma'am. You don't. Yes, ma'am. You have been committing crimes since you were 8 years old. I'm sorry. People are going to be safe from your behavior, ma'am. You are responsible. You have a prior felony conviction. No, they're going to help you. They help you in prison. They'll try to help you, but you've got to do this. You've got to start helping yourself, ma'am. You've got to start making the right choices and decisions. You've been endangering people for far too long. Whether you agree with it or not, that's the court's order. Anything else? That's all.
No, yeah. Well,
It's yeah. Thank you about the deal. All right, who do we have now? Is I'm interested in outside about it. Kevin, is that it? Well, is that it?
That's it. That's all.
Yes.
The family speaking up at the end is always the most awkward part of these hearings. It's like everybody suddenly remembers they care once the sentence is already set in stone. I mean, I've seen this so many times. I mean, nobody steps in early. Nobody helps when the warning signs are there. But they'll jump in at the finish line hoping to change something. Like, I just don't understand that mentality. The judge calling that out is honestly so refreshing because accountability doesn't stop at the defendant. I mean, when she literally started at 8 years old, I mean, the parents are so to blame. Like, there's no sugarcoating that. And you could just feel how uncomfortable the whole room gets when he asked where everybody was when she needed help years ago. Moments like that show how deep these problems really go outside the courtroom. Let's see how the final decision plays out.
And when you say that the daughter skips burning, does that kill Brady? Thank you so much.
I'm sorry. Who are you, man? Man, that's the man you need to be talking to, not me, man. There's Mr. Grove is the attorney for the.
We'll talk after. We'll talk after.
There has been nothing presented to me of incompetency or insanity, and people or other. If without that information to me, we'll say we don't go severely assaulting people. And also, since 8 years of age, she's been a daily drug user. All right. Well, why is she out and about? If aren't y'all supposed to be taking care of that? Aren't you supposed to be helping take care of her? Since 8 years of age, ma'am, since 8 years of age, she's been a daily drug user. Ma'am, do you think you could stop a daily drug using for 24 years? What are you? All right.
You don't know what she's saying.
Not
Trying to say. She
no.
Not.
Yeah, I'm not the one to be talking to. You need to talk to the district attorney's office that filed the case and the defense attorney who's representing her.
Oh, no.
Sir, you can leave now if you're going to be rude. Bye, sir. We try to take care of things in this room. You are just causing trouble now. Why don't you get part of the fixing the problem? They're the people you need to talk to. The one who represents her and the district attorney's office that brought the case. Those are the people you need to take care of. You don't need to come in here when she's at sentencing and start acting as though you care about her problems. That should have been dealt with since she was 8 years old. You can leave now. Thank you, sir. I know what we have to do here is clean up messes in families a lot of times, but there's how you can be a daily drug user since 8 years of age and the family hasn't taken care of that for 24 years is whose responsibility? And it's a shame. It's tragic. Shouldn't happen. But far too often, that's what happens at the time of sentencing. And she's been in the criminal system 5 separate times, and nothing seems to be happening. But since 8 years of age, my God, daily drug use, methamphetamine. I mean, how can the family not deal with that responsibly? I don't know. But then, right now, somebody got a registered nurse was seriously injured. That's what we got to deal with is the safety of the community. But prison facilities are supposed to have resources to help with problems like that, and hopefully they will deal with that in a responsible way.
Yeah, that was a very heavy hearing, and it leaves you thinking about how complicated these situations really are. I mean, on one hand, you have somebody who never had a stable foundation, and you can tell a lot of her choices come from years of pain and addiction. And on the other hand, you have a victim who didn't deserve any of it, and a justice system that has to protect people from violent outbursts. Cases like this happen way more often than people realize, and they never come with an easy answer either. What really stood out to me was how the judge handled the family showing up at the end there, like it was suddenly their moment. Because I don't know if you guys see it a lot, but me personally, I see it so much. And it really is just a reminder that responsibility isn't just on the person in cuffs. It's on everybody out there who ignored the warning signs all the way along. And I think it's especially the parents' fault, especially in a case like this. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments if you think the judge got this one right, or if the system could have handled it differently. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate you. Make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out. And as always, take care